Warning: this video contains conversations about suicide and sexual abuse. Viewers' discretion is advised as it may trigger viewers to relive past traumatic experiences. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Therapists Unmasked. I am Ashley.
I'm Sam.
And we wanted to thank you guys so much for your support as we try to figure out this journey of this podcast.
During this episode, we get into conversations about having an absent parent, depression, and how culture can influence somebody's behavior. Now, if you are somebody who has ever experienced this or knows of somebody who has ever experienced this, please do not hesitate to seek help, as it is important to acknowledge your past traumas rather than suppress them.
Now, without further ado, here is our episode. Aldo, thank you so much for coming today. It really means a lot. Now, for as long as I've known you, you have been the life of the party and somebody who cracks a lot of jokes. So introduce yourself. Tell us your name. Obviously, I just said it, but tell us your name, what you do for work, and how you view mental health and how your family views mental health, what that's like in your household.
My name is Aldo. I'm a mechanic. I work at a dealership, and I also do security, as a bouncer, bars. Mental health, I never took it serious until it hit me. I think around this time last year, I was really depressed. It was like really bad. I had no job, nothing. So it was really bad. My family never really took it serious either until now. After my mom gave birth to my sister, she got into really deep depression that she never told me until like recently that she was thinking about killing herself. So, that's when she started taking it serious. And now that she saw that like I was going through it, now she wants me to go to therapy and, do all that stuff. And, I'm trying to take it serious now too, because it's something real. It's not, I used to think, oh, I'm a man, I could take it, like whatever, it doesn't matter. But no, it affects you, and it kills you slowly if you don't take care of it. You get me?
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, you said that there was a point that it hit you.
Yeah.
What was that point? Like, what was that just reaching point that?
I didn't have a job. There's just a lot of things. I try to forget about it, but like it was just out of nowhere. I was just depressed, like not doing anything. I wanted to do anything. Like it was a tough time. I was deep into it.
You've emphasized that you have been through a lot of things, right? One of them being that you don't have a father around. He's been absent all your life. Did you ever feel this pressure to want to become like the man of the house?
Yeah, always. It was always my mom and me and my mom alone. I never met my dad. I never knew when he left or anything. I don't even know his name, to be honest. But I'm the person that always, I want to take care of people in my house. Like people I care, I'm really like protective over it. And so I always wanted to be the man of the house. I always wanted to protect my mom. But I really, I couldn't do it when I was young. But I always wanted to.
You have a sister too,
yeah,
right?
She's 11.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
So are you the oldest in
Yeah.
the family?
Yeah.
Okay, so how is that pressure of being the oldest in your household?
I had to change a lot of things just because I had to set an example. But it wasn't really hard just because she has her dad.
Okay.
So she has her dad and mom, so it wasn't like I had to like take care of her too, like, be, like she said, the man of the house.
Okay.
So it wasn't, a lot of pressure.
How do you feel like your dad's absence impacted or even still impacts your romantic relationships and just your relationships in general, friendships, anything?
I don't open up on my feelings. I don't know if that has to do anything with it. I just like not like a couple years ago, but like I just started like opening up more, but I really don't open up. I'm really close to like my feelings and my things that are going on with me. So I feel like that affected me because I've never had someone show me how to open up.
Have you found a way to make it easier for yourself to open up, or have you done anything in that retrospect?
Not really.
No?
Like I just still keep it off. Like Ashley would tell me, you gotta open up. You gotta, tell me how you feel and this and that. And I still don't. It's hard. Honestly, the only time I really open up and talk about my feelings is when I drink.
When you drink,
Yeah.
do you find that? What is the difference that you feel when you're drinking and when you're not?
I just feel more like loose and like more more of a lovable person.
More of a lovable
Yeah,
person.
I'm really loving when I'm drunk.
I think that's the effect of alcohol on anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still hard. That's why, I've been thinking about going to, therapy and stuff just to see if that helps.
Oh, so you have thought about it.
Yeah, I went when I was younger just because some stuff happened to me when I was younger, and they tried to send me to therapy, and it didn't work. I didn't say anything.
No. How old were you?
I was in like elementary school, middle school.
Okay. Yeah. It's a hard age.
Yeah.
Especially in elementary school.
Yeah.
Especially for kids. I mean,
they had me when we were playing checkers. They had me like that, but
as somebody who works with kids, that's the thing. You want to build rapport. You want to find some common interests, and you want to be able to make them feel comfortable in order to actually start talking. Because let's face it, if you go up to a kid and be like, "What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
tell me."
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and ultimately, all that therapy goes to nothing.
Two ways. Yeah.
Do you have any hesitation still when it comes to therapy at all?
Yeah, I'm still.
What's the hesitation?
I don't know. I just still feel like, oh man, I should just suck it up and move on with life.
Is there any pressure for you to move on in life?
From myself?
From yourself?
Yeah.
Not from any other?
No,
okay.
It's just from myself.
Is that something that cultural-wise has been instilled in you? Or is it something that you yourself formed an opinion about?
I'm guessing both. It's, when I was younger, my mom used to tell me nobody cares. You're here to work and you're here to, move forward. Mm-hmm. So that's stuck in me, and it always it's still in me. Like nobody cares. I still gotta work. I still gotta get up. Go do what I gotta do.
It's definitely a tough situation, especially when you have immigrant parents.
Yeah.
And they come here, and for them it's all working. And then now as an adult, we're all working, we're all a part of the society. Yeah. And that same theory of you gotta wake up, you gotta work, you gotta, earn money and fend for yourself is also instilled in us.
Yeah, there's times I need, time for myself, but I work, I do 7 days a week. So she tells me you gotta at least take a break sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's just, it's just installed in me.
Have you ever built any boundaries around work or
not really.
In any relationship?
At work, not really.
I know some of my boundaries at work are if I'm 9 to 5, 5 o'clock, my computer is shut and everything's logged out.
Yeah, like that, yeah. When I'm out of work, I don't care who calls me. It could be the boss. It could be my manager. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I'm out of work. Don't bother me.
That's good.
Don't bother me. I don't care. Oh, I need you to come in. I need help. Nope. Don't bother me.
No, exactly.
I don't answer. I put my phone on do not disturb. And
that same mentality of, building that boundary in work is basically the same thing as building a boundary in your personal life. I have a very bad problem with building boundaries.
Yeah.
I suck at it. Except for work. When it comes to work, that's when all the boundaries are like, yes. But then personal life, that takes a little bit more accustoming to, especially when when specific people, you never know how that person is going to be, especially when you're meeting new people.
Yeah.
It all depends on the person and the boundaries. Like you saw me and Ashley acting earlier.
I tend to be a real asshole when I first meet you.
I didn't get that.
Especially with men.
Oh, okay.
I tend to be a real asshole until, I get more comfortable when we talk and we vibe, then cool.
Shit.
Yeah, but if from the beginning, I don't like people.
Okay.
But it takes a while, I got to get to know you, and that's it.
Going back really quick to the therapy conversation, what's the worst thing that could happen in therapy?
I don't know. I just don't like opening up. That's pretty much it. I don't think anything bad's going to happen. I know it's going to help me, but I just don't like opening up. It's just me. I don't know. It's just me. Personally, I don't open up. It's really hard to open up. You get me?
One thing I thought that was really interesting that you said earlier was that you find yourself to be an asshole when you meet guys. Why do you think that is?
I just don't trust people. So we're going to go deep, back when I was a kid. So when I was little, I got molested by my cousin, a male cousin. So that's why I don't trust people because of that. How can a family member do that to somebody? You get me? So I guess it's because of that. I don't know. I tend not to like people until I really get to know them. But maybe it's because of that. I don't know, or it's just me.
I mean, effects as a child do
Yeah.
have a huge effect as adults. I have clients who are 11, 12, and they've told me that they don't trust men anymore.
Yeah.
And they prefer to be around women, or actually, they prefer to have a whole gender change because they don't feel like women or they don't feel like men. And it's because of the fact of what happened to them. Like, they go to that extreme of wanting to change everything about them because of what happened to them, because they think, well, if this can happen to me as this person, and this person did it to me, maybe I'll feel safer as that person.
Even what you've been through as a child, right? And then plus the absence of your father, how do you feel like that's affected your self-esteem growing up?
I was always like a shy child. Like I said, I never had somebody to teach me how to be a man. I had to learn that by myself. I got a stepdad. I consider him my dad, but I didn't meet him until I was like 13, 14.
At any point, like when it was just you two, did you feel any types of pressures as a young kid to, protect her or act older than what you actually were at that time?
Yeah, when I was younger, I did a lot of dumb stuff that I should have been doing, like hung out with the wrong people, try to toughen up because I wanted to protect her. My mom's gone through a lot of shit too, so, I didn't want her to go through all that stuff again. But it's only certain things I could do, you get me?
Do you feel like you mask your emotions to hide all the negative emotions that comes with like you thinking about the absence of your father? And if so, how do you feel like you do that?
I do mask it, like I hide it a lot. Like I said, I don't talk about it. I don't, if somebody asks me, are you fine? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Like, I just keep it to myself.
So like you said that you tend to open up when it comes to alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like those emotions come up the most when you're drinking? Like all the negative emotions?
Not really.
No.
No, I'm really good at hiding stuff. Like, I'm really good at like keeping it inside. The only time that like comes out is like I'm very lovable and like I told her that I want a kid and all that stuff.
Just for clarification, he also has a girlfriend named Ashley. Just for clarification, it's not this Ashley.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I feel like he said Ashley a few times. So.
All right. No.
Our Ashley's very much single.
Anyway, have you ever thought about reaching out to your dad? Trying to find out who he is?
Not really. I don't really care anymore. I feel like if he would have been in my life, I would have turned out different than I am, and I don't mind how I am. All the events I went through, not knowing my dad, it just made me realize I gotta be better for when I have a kid.
So would you say that's kind of your motive, your drive?
Yeah.
To strive for what you want to be, who you want to be?
Yeah. I just want to be, a better person than he was.
Okay. And do you think that's going to affect in the long run when you have kids?
Yeah, because I'm just going to, like I said, I just want to do better than he did. I'm going to be there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take care of my kids. Not like he just walked away. Mm-hmm. So you just got to be a better person than that.
Throughout your father's absence, what are some important lessons that he's taught you? Or just his absence has taught you?
Man ain't shit.
So are you saying you ain't shit?
Like, I ain't shit at times, but I'm a pretty good person. I have a lot of female friends, and a lot of them say that, but also they choose the wrong men too. So they're the biggest. They're the people that say the man ain't shit are women who choose wrong men, and they know it's the wrong man, and they still go for it. They get hurt. And then they're like, oh, man ain't shit, this and that. You get me? Not everybody's like that. Not every guy's like that. But a lot of men ain't shit.
So I guess I could speak for myself because I am guilty of being one of those girls that say men ain't shit, and I still go back to the same freaking man
It
every single
happens.
time. It's the way she knows. And I think it's just because like we tend to lose ourselves in relationships. We want to be loved by that person so bad. So we do anything and everything possible to make that relationship work.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I
Must be nice, Samantha. I can't relate.
I'm the opposite in that sense. I do have a boyfriend. I'm the type of person who will give people multiple chances to an extent.
Yeah.
If it's more friendship wise, I give people more chances. If it's a relationship, when somebody does something to me that I'm not okay with, that's my other boundary. And I set my boundaries very clear in that type of stance.
Nah, I get it. I'm more of I help you out as much as I can, like friendship or like family wise. But if you do me dirty, you anything, I don't care. You could be my cousin and my sister. I don't care. You're getting cut off. I tend to cut people off. Like if especially if it's family and they do me dirty, I don't really care.
Okay.
Like you're dead to me. I don't care. Like you said, you give people chances. I do too, but to an extent too.
I was always brought up with blood is thicker than water. That's obviously my viewing. So hearing that from you, it's very different. But it's also respected.
Yeah.
Because obviously if somebody doesn't do good by you, why are you going to have that person in your life?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it doesn't matter who they are.
Right now, I have cousins and uncles and aunts here. I don't talk to them.
Okay.
Luckily, my stepdad and my mom are like good money wise. So whenever my family needs something, they hit them up.
Oh,
But on birthdays, like stuff like that, they don't.
Crickets.
Yeah, exactly.
they're one of those.
Yeah,
That stinks.
yeah. So
That's annoying.
that's why I don't talk to them. They like I've had my uncle talk to me. Nope, I don't. Like, hey, how you doing? That's it. I don't really be like, oh, you need anything, let me know. No, because you tell people like that, and they're just gonna keep coming when they need something or when they want something. So I tend to not talk to my family at all here.
How long have you been with your girlfriend for?
8 years.
8 years is a long
Shit, pain in the ass.
Do you feel like your dad's absence has, impacted your relationship with her at all? Do you feel like there's some things that you can still work on?
Like I said, I don't open up, so I probably don't tell her like how much I appreciate her and stuff, just because I don't know how to say it, unless I'm drunk. but I don't, I guess his absence and it did affect me the way I am, like show my feelings and stuff. It did. I don't know how to say it.
It's really important when you have an absence of a parent to have safe relationships, to be able to open up to people and to be able to just have those positive figures around, right? Do you feel like you have that in your relationship with her?
Yeah, she knows everything about me. From where she knows how I am. She knows like everything, and she doesn't judge me. So I do feel like it's a safe place. Yeah.
Do you have any friendships that are also like a safe spot for you too?
Yeah, I got two friends that I could tell them anything, and they know everything, and I know everything about them too. So like I feel really comfortable, and we could talk about anything. And let's say like if it's something that I can't talk to her about, I go to them, and they don't judge me at all either.
It sounds like you have a good support system behind you that makes you feel comfortable and you're able to talk to them about anything, because let's be real, it's very rare.
Yeah.
How would you describe your circle of friends?
It's small.
Yeah.
Very small, yeah. Like, yeah, we could be friends, but like I consider them more like my brothers, like my sister. That's it. It's like my really close friends. It's maybe 3 people.
My mom always said you can always count your true friends on one hand and still have fingers left over.
Yep.
She also always says, tell me who you're with and I'll tell you who you are.
Yep. That's a very common saying.
It's a very, but she says it in Spanish.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course, that's how we all say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you guys talked about having kids at all anytime? Well, not any, I'm sure not anytime soon, but
Nah, I want kids. Yeah,
how many
we've
kids do
talked.
you want?
I want two.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
How do you plan to be different from your father?
Be there. I'm a really kind of like old fashioned type of guy. Like example, like your dad, like strict.
Yo, if they mess up, he's gonna give them pow pow. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not.
That chancla.
Look, I'm not. I'm not gonna be the dad that's like, oh, it's okay. No, you're gonna learn. Like, I'm that type of. I'm not not gonna be abusive,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
kids need ass whooping sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie.
Kids nowadays
Yeah.
are intense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else,
So
but
yeah, that's how I told her. That's how I'm gonna be. Especially if we have a boy. Like, yo, that kid's gonna go to work when I started working when I was 13. You're gonna go with me when you're 13.
it builds character. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I have family members who, have their own landscaping business. They've taken their kids with them to kind of start teaching them the lay of the land, to kind of teach them what hard work is
Yep.
and appreciate the value of a dollar. Because nowadays, for instance, my youngest brother, he'll come up to me and be like, I love you. I love you. I'm like, what do you want? He's like, food. I'm like, get it yourself. But that's also me spoiling him.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll probably spoil my kids too, but like to an extent, they gotta work once they're older. They gotta do things right. Like the way my mom raised me, like certain things I'm gonna install in them. I'm not gonna be these parents that they like baby their kids a lot. Like,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound really like machista,
Mm-hmm.
but like my boy, you're not like if I have a boy, you're gonna be a man, bro. You're not gonna cry about any little thing. But you can open up about your feelings, like about anything with me. But like if you fall, don't cry. You're a man. Get up. Come on, like I'm gonna be tough on them, but I'm also gonna be open to them want to talk, and your feelings matter, and your feelings they're valid. But like I'm gonna be tough on them.
So going back to you saying machista, that's very common, especially in our culture,
Yeah.
of men being told you got to act like a man. Yeah. You're not able to talk about your feelings. You're not able to really open up. You can't really cry. You have to put up a front. Yeah. And so with that being said, how has that affected you?
Oh, a lot.
A lot. How
Yeah,
so?
because like I said, I was always told you can't cry. You're a man. I was when it was just me and my mom. I grew up with people from like the streets, so you gotta toughen up. You can't show weakness. If anything, like I said, you're a man. You toughen up. Don't cry about it. I was raised like that, so like I just grew up with the wrong people around me. So that you always got to put a front around those people.
For those of you who don't know what machista is, it's basically not being able to open up, being told you're a man, you got to act like a man, you got to put up a front and not cry, not show any feelings. And it's very big within the Hispanic culture. It's something that, a lot of younger kids are taught from a very young age not to cry. They want to be known as someone that's tough. And how has that really impacted your growth into the person you are today?
Well, not opening up because
Yeah,
we're not supposed to talk about our feelings. Mm-hmm. So that affected me. I gotta keep it inside. I gotta forget about it. So that's the way it affected me. It's hard for me to talk about stuff.
But I feel like the fact that now you're willing to seek therapy and just take action and all that, I feel like things are slowly changing.
Look, when you have thoughts of suicide, and you see that there's people that care about you, it changes you. I've had friends who they've told me, yo, I was thinking about killing myself, and it sucks. I wouldn't want to lose those people. So every time I tell them, yo, let's talk about it, this and that. So that, it's helped being around people like that and not wanting to lose them has made me want to change and be like, you know what, I should do that too. And I want to grow as a person too. I want to be able to have kids and not have to be fighting my demons when I have to take care of my kids. Mm-hmm. Help them grow up. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's so important.
Because I feel like a lot of our parents did that. And that's why maybe, like, for example, for my mom, that I remember, my mom didn't really tell me that she was proud of me or that she loved me till I was like old. You know, I know that she went through a lot of stuff. Her mom died before I was born, so I know she went through all that stuff, and it affected her the way she loved me. You know, because she had to worry about her own stuff and she was fighting her own demons. So, you know, we gotta work on therapy. Like, you have to. Before kids, I feel like everybody before having kids, they should go to therapy and try to like heal their inner, their inner trauma.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fair.
that's what I want to do before I have kids.
Fair, yeah. And so do you think that's something you and your mom would essentially work with together?
I feel like me and her are good now. Um, right now she's away, so I feel like that made us like closer.
Mhm.
That made us tell each other that we love each other
Aw.
and this and that, because you just never know. I mean, right now I'm not able to see her, but you just never know what could happen. So, it helped us realize that we should care about each other more.
Can I just say that it truly makes my heart happy to hear somebody say, like, I'm aware that I've been through all this trauma and I'm aware that I'm going through depression and having all these negative thoughts. And I need to address that in order for me to become the best parent that I can be for my future kids.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that. Can't let your emotions affect your kids. You're the parent. You're the one that's have to take care of them. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When having kids, it's a game changer. I only know through, having, like, my parents had my youngest brother when I was 12. So I saw it and I remember it. But I definitely know it's going to be different for when, like, we have kids of our own.
I know that my mom used to struggle with depression too, and I would see her in her depressive episodes and she wouldn't be able to get out of bed, especially because even the last few years, because she was sick and everything.
yeah,
And just everything that she had been through kind of just came back to her, and she's always been like reflecting on her life, and that really affected me too,
yeah,
because I'm the type of person to internalize my emotion, I mean anybody's emotions. And so to hear that she was struggling and that she was going through her depression, it hurt me.
yeah, yeah. It does.
And
Yeah,
I always emphasize to her, like, if you really want to, like, go seek a therapist,
yeah,
because that's really important. But again, in the Hispanic culture, you're seen as weak if you're going to therapy, and it's just people view it as this bad thing, right? And so it sucked to see her in such a bad place, and then because again, like, it would affect me. Whatever my mom was going through, I hated it. Which is why I love hearing the fact that you say you want to work on yourself before.
yeah. I want to be a good dad.
That's important.
One thing about my mom that helped me toughen up too is my mom could have been in the worst state mentally, financially, but every day she was a tough fucker. She used to get up, go to her job, and then the weekends go to the other job. So that's something that made me, become a tougher person. She could be in her worst spot, but she's still getting up in the morning and going to do whatever she got to do.
We love that.
So
We love to hear
yeah.
that.
Yeah. What does your depression look like
Uh,
when you are in that state? What does that look like to you?
I mean, it changes, to be honest. Like, there's times where like I wouldn't want to get out of bed. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to be alone. Like anybody, don't bother me. And there's times like I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I'm a little, not a lot, but it's small, just because I miss my mom, and work is stressing me out, and I got a lot of like things. I got things to do, but I don't want to be in this. I'm not in the spot where I want to be yet, and that affects me and gets me mad, and it puts me in a bad place in my head. But it changes. It's not always one thing. I could be fine. Like I could look fine, but deep down, I'm hurting. You got me?
Do you have various goals for yourself?
Yeah.
What are they?
I want to become a better mechanic. Be a higher mechanic where I'm at. I actually wanted to open my own security company.
Oh, nice.
That's tough. That one's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to move out, have my own place with her. Stuff like it's little goals. Later on, I want a house. Hopefully a
Fair.
business.
Adult life is great.
It's fun. It's an adventure. Yeah, look, my mom didn't come to this country and risk a lot and gave up a lot for me just to be a bum.
Fair.
Fair. Gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah, no, we love that. Okay.
If you had a friend that was going through the same exact thing, right? Think of everything that you're going through right now. What would you tell that friend?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just tough. I guess I'll just be there for that person. But I don't know. I'm not good with words.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm mostly like, if you need me, I'll be there. You could cry with me, anything, but I'm not good with words. There's times I say things the wrong way and it makes them feel worse. So I just rather stay quiet. If you need something, I'll be there. I'll be a shoulder. I'll give you a hug. I'll be there if you need something.
Sometimes the best way to say something is not to say anything at all.
Yeah, because me knowing myself, I'll be like, yo, just toughen up, chief. Let's keep moving.
No, but honestly,
let's go get a drink. We good.
Honestly, though, because, for instance, in school, they taught us about therapeutic silence. I remember one of our classmates, she took about, one of her clients was crying, and she was looking at the clock, and that client was crying for almost 5 minutes. But ultimately, the crying that happened, it ended up doing pretty good because, she let her
Sometimes you just need that.
Sometimes you just need a good cry.
Don't get me wrong. There's times I would sit in my car and just let it out. I just let it out. I don't like her seeing me cry, but I just, I sit in my car and I'll let it out.
Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah, you need it. Sometimes you just need it.
You say that your relationship is kind of like your safe place, right?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you hold back from showing that vulnerable side of you? Like you said, you go into your car and you just let it out, right? Because you don't like showing her those things. What do you think it is, though? What's holding you back from that?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never really experienced that love until I was older. Mm-hmm. So, I guess I don't know how to take it.
Even though you guys have had, a long relationship,
yeah,
it's still new to the sense that you haven't been accustomed to it your whole life.
And also, it's still this old mentality.
Don't cry.
I'm the man. I'm the one that has to protect you. I don't want you to look at me a different way just because I cried. I know she doesn't, but that's just me.
That's within you.
Yeah, I don't like showing my weak side because I'm the one that's supposed to protect you.
I was gonna be like, she's gonna be a therapist too, man. What are you doing?
Everything we're telling you, she's been
probably doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
But it still sounds like it's just your
my ego.
Yeah.
A big break in anybody's relationship is when you feel comfortable enough to ultimately show that weak side to your partner and know that they know that that's not you being weak. And that, I feel like in any relationship, is a major breakthrough, knowing that your partner is going to have your back and knowing that you're going to be okay no matter what, and you're going to be able to talk about anything at that point. That to me is the most special thing, when you have that safety. So you have some, what it sounds like is that you have some walls built up that you need, that takes some time to kind of break down.
Well, now going back to your dad, right? When all those emotions come up, do they even still come up today? Because I know that
not really.
You've grown up and you lived life and
move on.
Right.
I don't really care about it.
No.
Good.
Yeah.
It sounds horrible, and I'm sorry.
Are you sure you're good though?
Yeah,
listen, don't apologize.
This is gonna sound horrible. He could die tomorrow, and I wouldn't care.
Well, when you mentioned you don't even know who.
Exactly.
I
don't care. They could be that's your dad. I'm like, cool. Now my dad's over here. Mm-hmm. My dad's the old pain in the ass over here in the other room. That's not my dad. That's just somebody.
When it sounds like just because that person gave you his DNA, it doesn't make him your dad. The person that you consider your dad is the person that has been there.
Yeah, my stepdad, he's a pain in the ass, but That old man, I have a lot of things to thank him for.
How close are you to your mom nowadays?
I told her everything. Like you said, she played the dad part. When I talk to her about like personal things, I'm not talking to my mom. I'm talking to my dad. You know, we argue and stuff, but like that's my friend too. She learned the way I am, so sometimes she knows like when I'm raging or saying something, like she just stays quiet because she knows that I'm stubborn. Whatever she tells me, I'm not gonna listen.
No, dude, I'm with you. I'm stubborn too.
I am stubborn. So she knows just to sometimes just all she needs to do is just listen. That's why we have a better relationship now. So she doesn't judge. Like she used to judge a lot, but now like she doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything bad.
It's good, when you know that your parents take the time to listen, to hear you out, to actually learn who you are as an adult, not just as a child.
Yeah.
And be able to recognize those little things that can tick you off, or even as far as respecting your boundaries, because there are some parents who are just like, I'm your parent and I get a free say, when in reality,
That's how you push your kids away.
yeah.
In reality, that's like a really strict parent, or like that's how you create sneaky kids. You gotta let your kids do whatever, they gotta learn from their mistakes. That's what life is. But also, it's not bad to learn from other people's mistakes.
Definitely.
Because you could see how it affected them, and you could be like, oh, you know what? I don't want to go through that shit.
For sure.
There's definitely pros and cons for both.
Yeah. But like, I'm the same way. I like to learn from my own mistakes. You could tell me don't touch the stove, but I'm not gonna believe you. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna tell you I'm stubborn, so I'd rather learn by myself.
Oh, dude, I am so stubborn. Yeah. It's bad.
It sucks.
Now I'm the person that likes to learn from other people.
I'll do both, but
I'm like that because again, like I have somebody in my family that's an alcoholic, and I've seen all the stupid stuff that he's done, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna do that when like I want to be better than that. All of that has made me the person that I am today, and I stay away from that stuff.
That's good.
Now, everything that you've been through, even as a child, that you had said earlier, when you think about all of that, right? What do you do to cope when those emotions come up?
Honestly, I just try to forget them. That was in the past. Dude. I gotta move on. That's my way of like
coping, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. You have to.
Is it really truly moving on?
And not really, because they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they come back. So technically, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
It's basically out of sight, out of mind until there's a trigger that brings it back, and then that's when everything starts over again.
Yeah, you're right.
I was gonna say, like, the way you're like, I just try to move on from it. Okay, easier said than done, though, right?
You have to. The way I see it. You have to move on. It's in the past. You gotta let it go. You gotta move on. Be a better person. But it's hard. It is hard.
I was gonna say, but do you really feel like you can move on from it right now?
Trying to.
It's good that it's making you a better person. It's good that you're learning from those mistakes and, wanting to do better. But ultimately, like we said, it's not really moving on until you actually like deal with it. It's more pushing it down and then hiding it, kind of like playing hide and seek.
Going back to your mom, right? Was there ever a time where you guys were like arguing all the time and things were like really toxic or just unhealthy?
Yeah. Well, it was around like middle school. It was really bad. Middle school and like freshman year. We argue all the time. It was bad. There was things that we both said that we shouldn't have said. Like to this day, I regret saying all that stuff. And I'm sure she did too.
What's helped change the relationship?
I don't know. I grew up. I view things different now. I see the things she did, and I appreciate it. She started opening up with me, so that helped a lot too.
The times that my mom and my mom opens up to me, like we have our own setting where we like to sit down at like late at night and have a glass of tea or like some chocolate and just talk. There's never necessarily like anything big to talk about, but it's more just like understanding each other. Do you have any events or any nights like that with your mom?
She's like me. She opens up when she drinks.
Okay.
She is. Well, like when there was, I remember the time she was drinking. She was at a party, and I show up, and she just starts fucking crying and like talking to me, and she loves me and this and that. It's like I know, you say it's sober, but
Say it's sober. It's a little different.
yeah, but yeah, that's the only time like we really opened up.
I was gonna ask, like, have you guys ever had a moment with each other where you guys are drunk and like,
Yeah,
just talking about everything?
yeah, we have. It was like a couple years back. Yeah, at that party when she was crying and it was weird.
Now let me ask you, out of pure curiosity, what's your drink of choice?
Hennessy.
Disgusting.
Nah.
I can't.
So, you guys have had those moments.
Yeah.
Do you look back on it and say, like, damn, I wish we could have these conversations sober?
Yes and no, because I understand her. I understand that it's hard for her to open up to. Like she just started doing it. I get her, so that's why it's like, okay, if you want to open up now, like I'll listen to you. It's all right. You're drunk. I know you're speaking the truth, so it doesn't really bother me. I mean, she's saying it now, so.
Yeah.
And I don't blame her. She had it tough growing up too. Like her dad was abusive and all that. Like her mom abusive to her mom too. So she never really got that love when she was younger either. You get me?
So she's been through a lot, and
Yeah.
yet she was able to be a parent to you despite it all.
Like she came to this country twice. She crossed the border twice, just because I was here. So I appreciate that a lot.
She walk.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a few clients who have done that, and from what I'm told, it's a very long, dangerous journey.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, it's tough.
What do you feel like you could be doing differently in terms of you coping with your own emotions? What do you wish you can do differently?
I wish I could open up more and be able to talk about it.
do you feel like in order to open up, you need somebody to actually start the conversation?
Yeah, because like she said, I'm an open book. So once we get going, like I'll talk, but like it has to be like not someone that I don't know, but like a professional. Because I don't like talking to people I know, like that know me personally, because I feel like I'm gonna get judged.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
People judge silently, and people are not the nicest, especially when it comes to the stuff that you've been through. And as therapists, we learn how to push that judgment back and essentially be there for the client, be there for the person, and make sure that they're at their most comfortable at that point, because you are in a vulnerable state when you are in therapy.
Yeah.
You can be crying the whole session, and ultimately that session is literally just you cried because she asked you, or they asked you one question and you answered it, and then you cried for like the whole 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So you are at your most vulnerable state when it comes to
I don't like
sessions.
being in that. Like I said, it's my ego that gets to me. I don't like being like seem weak. So being in that state, I don't like it. I personally just don't like it.
No, and everybody does it differently too. Your way of opening up can be crying, it could be yelling, it could be coming on a podcast.
Yeah.
It's better, some people find it more comforting to be in a room and just talking as if it's not a therapy session, just having an open discussion, because let's face it, who wants to be interviewed so deeply and intensely about past traumas? It can be really hard.
Although I hope that you understand that despite you fearing to show like the vulnerability, at the end of the day, like whenever you go see a therapist, you understand that like it's okay to be vulnerable in that room.
Just gotta do it when I'm ready though. I can't just you can't push somebody to do it, because
Definitely
they're not
not.
gonna do it.
Definitely not. It's always at the right time when that person wants to. If you're forced to do it, nothing is going to come out
It's
of
not
it.
gonna help.
Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you right now to see a therapist?
Still like a 6.
That's better than a 1.
Yeah.
Why is it a 6 and not a 7?
I don't know.
He's working his way, you
Yeah.
know?
Which is fine.
Yeah, I gotta work. I
The
gotta
first
work
step
up
was
there.
coming here.
Yeah, honestly.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
First step's got to start somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm very thankful for you to come on here, especially because even though we're here in a room, it's going to be in a public setting.
Yeah.
And the fact that you were so willing to open up, it doesn't show you weakness. It doesn't show you as weak. It shows you that you're at a point in your life where you're owning up to how you feel. You're owning up to the events in your life, and you're ready to move on at this point. That's honestly, I think that's great.
And you know what? You could be helping other people for all you know.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, some people might be going through the same exact emotions as you, and might be hesitant to see a therapist, and maybe that might motivate somebody to want to take at least baby steps to get to that point, which is great either way. You know?
So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Aldo. It really means a lot that you've opened up so much. I think this was a great conversation.
It was. And to close this off, if you had to rate where your mental health is today on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it?
I want like a 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hey, it was like a 5 before.
Hey, that's good.
So it helped out a little bit.
That's awesome.
That's great. You know, there's never such thing as like a perfect 10.
No.
So, you know, the fact that you're more than halfway there, that's always what you got to tell yourself at the end of the day. You know, you're making progress. Even if it's just like, even if you were a 5 and then you went to a 5.5, that's still progress.
Something, yeah.
That's still something. So never think of it as nothing.
Thank you, Aldo, again so much
Thank
for coming.
you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this with your friends and family, and we will see you guys next time, all right?
And go to therapy.
All right, guys. Bye.
Go to therapy. I love that.
That was funny. That was great. That was awesome.